participated in all 3 time zones. I hope you all are doing great. Welcome to the 84th meeting of Advanced Quantum Leap Toastmaster Club. 84th. Wow. I am Tehseen Fatma, Toastmaster Tehseen Fatma, your Sergeant in Arms. And before we begin, just a quick reminder to ensure a smooth and enjoyable meeting. We have few rules. Please keep your microphones on mute unless you are speaking. If you are presenting, feel free to turn on your camera to engage with your audience. Use the chat box or the hand gesture, which is the emoji right in front of your screen if you want to say something in between. There are a few topics which are not allowed in District 122P. We try not to speak about sex, religion, and other topics which are of ignition. So please try to ignore them. And let's officially start our meeting. And I'm so thrilled to be a part of this amazing session today. Let's officially begin our meeting and help me welcome President. Ma'am President has joined. Let me check. Okay. So the VPE will start the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you so much for a very warm welcome, and I'm sure I'm audible and visible. Great. First of all, let's congratulate Karachi Toastmasters Club for completing its 25 years and hope the club has many more successful years in future as well. So the Quantum Leap is one of the baby of Karachi Toastmasters Club, or maybe you can say that it is the brainchild of one of the most dedicated Toastmaster of the Karachi Toastmasters Club. And Quantum Leap is an advanced club. So the Quantum Leap is aimed at rekindling and curiosity into advanced physics, science, fiction, fantasy, environment, spirituality, and human health and well-being. It is a club by geeks for geeks with a mission to make this world a better place through science and communication. So we have a wonderful guest today with us, and we have an amazing distinguished Toastmaster who is also the part of Karachi Toastmasters Club as well. So let's welcome DTM Oneep. Could you please share your brief intro?
Thanks, Toastmaster Imran. Yeah, I think my brief intro starts with Karachi Toastmasters Club. From Toastmasters side, by profession, I'm a mechanical engineer and have background in energy sector. So all my career remained with the power sector, and I was working full time for a British organization called International Power, who owned a power plant in Hubco and now many plants within the country. And so I finished my service tenure with them in 2021 late, and since then I moved from Karachi to Lahore in 2022. It's been about 3 years. Time passes fast. So I think I'm still a part of the Toastmaster fraternity here. Meet lots of Toastmasters here. So that's my brief intro. Over to you.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Mohammad Oneep Saab. Let me tell you about Oneep Saab that when I attended the first meeting of Karachi Toastmasters Club as a guest, so Oneep Saab was delivering a very inspirational speech at that time, and I was quite inspired by his communication style. So welcome in Quantum Leap Toastmasters Club, and we have another wonderful guest. Yes, DTM Talha.
I'd also like to remind everyone that DTM Uni is also the mentor of someone very important, Toastmaster Anamka.
Okay, great. So let's welcome another wonderful guest, and she is from Islamabad. She joined Karachi Toastmasters Club, and now she is quite away from Toastmasters, but we would love to have her in Quantum Leap Toastmasters Club. So let's welcome Toastmaster Noreen Fatma. Please introduce yourself. Who are you?
You don't know me? Hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you so much Toastmaster Imran Rana today for sharing the link. Actually, I was looking to join Toastmasters again, and I think that is the best club, and it's more relevant to my field as well, where we can share about science advancement, especially in the field of climate change. So I want to share a brief background of mine that my Toastmasters journey started back in 2018, where the Samba Toastmasters Club remain members of many clubs, including Karachi Toastmasters Club, ICAP Toastmasters Club, and joined clubs from various other cities as well. So I think for quite long, I was away from Toastmasters due to professional and personal reasons. But these days, I am constantly trying to resume my Toastmasters journey because I felt lacking in my communication skills. So I think it's the right time, and I'm thinking to resume Toastmasters from this club because it's relevant to
Yeah.
my future. I can share my uh, research work, especially in the field of climate finance. So I think that's the best club for me. By profession, I'm an environmental consultant. I work with different environmental organizations, including WWF, EVK2CNR, National Institute of Maritime Affairs, HASHU Foundation. And currently, I am serving with Oxford Policy Management as climate finance consultant, and where we are looking for climate financing avenues for the farmer communities. So that's the current project we are leading with State Bank of Pakistan. So inshallah, in future, I'll share the project details in my upcoming speeches. Over to you, Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you so much, environmental enthusiast. So is this the DTM Amir Bilal?
Yeah, it's Amir Bilal.
Great, Amir. So please introduce yourself. Could we have your brief introduction?
Yeah, I would keep it concise rather. It's Muhammad Amir Bilal. I was part of Al Karam Toastmasters initially, and that's where I got inspired from Toastmasters International. And then there was this club, Karachi Toastmasters, who happens to be like a mother or father of different other clubs as well. So we sort of created Storytellers Club from Al Karam Club. So I've been able to have the opportunity to preside that club for some time. And then I've been the area director for one of the areas as well. So it's been very, very inspiring and loving journey with Toastmasters International. Eventually, with the help of all the people around at KTC, I became DTM as well. So thank you.
So good to have you, DTM Amir,
Thank you.
in the meeting. Now it's time for me to introduce the Toastmaster of the day. He is he has been a national champion, and he is an integral part of our club. So let's welcome with a huge round of applause Toastmaster Khurram Saeed Chishti. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Standing Acting President and VPE of the Geek Club. Fellow Toastmasters, whenever you open your refrigerator or hold a baby in your hand or look toward the stars, have you ever thought you are looking at or holding a miracle of nature, a miracle of science? But in essence, it's a local order wrestling the global disorder. Most believe that universe is unidirectional. But if there is a reward and punishment, if there is a positive and negative, if there's a north or south, if there's a yin and yang, if there's a man and a woman and a harmony and a chaos, then if there is entropy, there is negative entropy as well, which we say negentropy. Today is a very interesting day because we are going to unlock a very important aspect of science and the universe in which we live. And we always talk about entropy. With our keynote speaker soon, we will talk about entropy. And today I will be doing a pocket of informations around negative entropy. Let's go through quickly through our agenda of the day. I'll introduce you shortly the role players. We'll go through the geek of the week following the keynote speech. Then we'll have a prepared speech segment and the table topic segment. And then we'll do our quality check through our journal evaluator, which I don't see is in-house at this stage. So I would request Toastmaster DTM Talha bin Hamid to please act as a journal evaluator if you don't mind. Or would DTM or Noreen Fatma, would you like to take that role, the journal evaluator?
Yes, why not?
Not today. Inshallah, in next meeting, I'll take this role.
Okay,
Then
fine.
yeah,
What I can
that's
do is
yeah.
I can take some notes and provided DTM Iram joins, I'll pass on those notes to her. Otherwise, what we can do is that we can ask one of the guests at the end of the meeting to be the journal evaluator. How about that?
Yeah, why not? Or I would propose, I'm not sure, DTM Amir Bilal, if you are able to attend our whole meeting, that would be an honor to have a GE from your side.
Thank you, Khurram Chishti. Actually, I'm at office, so it'll be quite difficult to
No, for
sort of.
sure, it's understandable. So
I believe
let
you understand.
No, for sure. Let's go DTM Talha at your suggestion, and then we'll close the speech with our the day with the president's input. Let me introduce you the role players of the day. We have language evaluator TM Imran Rana. Would you please explain your role to the team?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. So I'll be noting down some amazing usage of languages and incorrect use of English language. And in the end, I'll present my report. And the word of the day is coherence. So coherence refers to the quality of being logical, consistent, and well organized in various contexts. So try to use the word of the day in your speeches, in table topics, or whenever you are asked to speak. And I'll presenting the report at the end in the general evaluation segment.
Thank you, language evaluator. Our time evaluator of the day is DTM Talha bin Hamid. Would you please 30-second explain the role?
All right. So I will be timing the prepared speeches and the table topics and the keynotes, the evaluations. According to the time, I'll be, whatever the minimum time is, I will show the green. In the intermediate time, I'll show the yellow. And when the maximum time is reached, I'll show the red. So for example, for a prepared speech, it would be 5, 6, 7. For a table topic, it would be 1, 1.5, and 2. For the keynote today, correct me if I'm wrong, Toastmaster Imran, it's 18, 20, 22, right?
It's 20 to 25 minutes plus 5 minutes Q&A.
All right. So 20, 22, and 25. And similarly for evaluations, it's 2, 2.5, and 3. Every time you see red, that means you need to wind up your presentations within 31 seconds in order to qualify for voting. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, time evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters, we have now a very interesting, short, crisp, and inspiring segment tailored only for Quantum Leap Toastmasters. We are going to the segment of Geek of the Week. And today, the geek we have is an inspiring geek with a special interest in mathematics, physics, and their intertwining relationship and everything we touch. The topic of the day is space-time fabric, and the geek of the week is none other than Toastmasters Salman Ibrahim. Over to you, geek of the week.
Hi, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Khurram Chishti. It's a pleasure to be joining this August meeting of the Geeks on another session. And I would like to congratulate the Karachi Toastmasters Club for their 25th anniversary. It indeed is an achievement on behalf of the number of people who have been carrying the flag towards the 25th year celebration that we have at the moment. The topic that I have picked for my Geek of the Week discussion is space-time fabric. When I was a child, I used to jump on the sofa that we had or the bed mattresses, just like every other child. And whenever I landed, I used to create a bump, a dent underneath me. And I used to sit there and see that bent. And if there was anything that was lying at the end of that body, it used to roll over towards me. Obviously, at that age, I had no idea on the relevance of that with the space or the universe that we live in. However, I was introduced to this relationship in my high school years. Like everyone else, we were told about the Einstein's general theory of relativity when we studied physics. And the easiest example that we were given to understand the theory of relativity was the time that we spend or feel like waiting for somebody who we really love, or when you compare that time with the session that you're having in a physics class or a maths class. The time that you feel is quite different in both situations. Now, obviously, that is more of a psychological perspective, I must say, because time stays the same along both situations. However, and this is something that blew my mind off. I mean, I was kind of blown over when I heard about this, that it is actually applicable and relevant in terms of the grand universe as well. Because when Einstein was talking about relativity, he also spoke about the space and time being intertwined together, like a thread, like a joined tapestry that has no way to kind of unwind from each other. And both of those things are not particularly physical, but in a way that you can't separate these two out. And when you have different objects in that space-time, you have planets, you have satellites like moon, you have sun like as the star, closest one, and you have many stars which are many times over the size and magnitude of our sun. And it is quite important that initially when we were told about the gravity part, that when an apple falls from the tree, it's basically due to the force of gravity. And when I read more about the Einstein's theory of relativity, it felt like Newton was not entirely able to capture the complexities, the intricacies of the way space and time interact, and their fabric kind of affects everything that's holding up everything in its place. So when I read more about it, I was completely I still don't have the words to describe my feeling, because that is something that kept me thinking about how important the objects are in the grand scheme of things. Every object is kind of producing an impact on the space-time fabric to the tune of its mass, to the tune of the way it is dense in its very small volume. So it's not necessary that you have a huge star. If it is not dense enough, you won't expect the dent in that space-time fabric to be enough to bend even the time around it. Even the relationship, even the approach that a number of other celestial objects have towards that object won't feel that kind of impact or attraction, or their speed won't change if the object is massive yet less dense, and obviously then has a lot less impact on the space-time fabric, as we call it. However, if the object is dense enough to have even smaller volume, yet have a much, much bigger impact on this space-time fabric, or in layman terms, a dent in that stretched elastic fabric, then even the light, which goes at the speed of something that we are even unable to comprehend, that there is anything faster than that, even that is unable to escape the gravity, even that is unable to escape the weight, the dent that has been formed around that dense object. The black hole basically attracts light based on the impact that it is creating in that whole wide universe. Come to think of it, when we are looking at our presence in this world, essentially it's the same thing, that we are in this world, we are talking about so many things. A lot of people are able to live in this world through a life that is completely satisfactory, content, happy, and they are able to make a huge impact on the lives of people around them. For example, in the context of Pakistan, we have late Mr. Eidi, may Allah bless him. We have people like Hakim Saeed. We have people like Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan. We have people like politicians, Mr. Ayub Khan, Mr. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, late Muhtarama Benazir Bhutto, or even right now Mr. Imran Khan or Mr. Nawaz Sharif. Every one of us are having an impact on this space-time fabric based on their density, based on their personality, based on what they are preaching, based on their relevance, based on how much they are able to inspire other people. Now, when come to think of it, I mean, every sunrise, every falling apple, every orbit on the moon, every person on this planet, every small animal on this planet is a verse in this quiet symphony of curves. The curvature that's out there, it seems flat. It seems like nothing going on in the way that you would anticipate. However, it is having an impact in all of this vast fabric. We are not flowing freely in this emptiness. We are cradled in a vast design, held gently in a place by different bends around different places, around different objects. And whenever there is an object that flies by across this universe, or this whole area, or this whatever, I fail to really capture the magnanimity of all of this. But yes, everything has an impact, and it kind of tells you about what possibilities exist for anybody who is passing by through this time, through this space, that yes, they are able to bend this curvature to the weight of their presence. If it is good, as Toastmaster Khurram mentioned about the yin and yang, about the positives and the negatives, the negentropy is where it all can be decided by every individual. They can choose to be part of the entropy or negentropy if I'm using it in the right context. But it is important that we understand that we are relevant. It is important that we understand that we matter. Every one of us matters. It's only how we choose to make this impact is what really matters. And that's all it is for everyone to talk about. Please, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if I have overstepped time, but thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Salman. Yeah, time was a bit overstepped, but we appreciate your enthusiasm toward the topic, and what a great input, fellow Toastmasters, how we as being nothing to something, interacting with this time space reality and changing the course of the world. Now we'll move toward the segment where we all are waiting for today, a keynote speech. For today, our keynote speech is none other than a fellow Toastmaster, a DTM. DTM Dr. Muhammad Unib. He is an energy industry executive working in this field for past 35 years. Most of his career, as he just said in the beginning of the meeting, is in a hub power company where he led the teams from United Kingdom and France and many other nationalities for 35 years. He begin his journey with WABDA. He continued today serving the industry as a consultant. He's a chair of the Institute of Mechanical Engineering in Middle East and Africa. Academically, he's my senior from UET Lahore as a mechanical engineer. He holds a master's degree from University of Wisconsin, USA, and a PhD from the Imperial College London. He is a DTM. He wrote so many journals, multiple journals in the technical field. His leadership is extended not till just to the executive level of the organization, but he is standing on and serving the prestigious boards like Power Division of IMEC-E in UK and the previously academic board of Sufa University. Apart from the credential, he's an enthusiast and passionate about net zero, building capacities and capabilities, and empowering the next generation. He's none other than DTM Dr. Muhammad Unib, and today we are going to have a keynote speak from him, Entropy, Curiosity, and Human Spirit. Over to you, Dr. Unib.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chishti. I will be sharing my screen. Just bear with me. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Chishti, Toastmaster Imran Rana, and Toastmaster Talal bin Hamid. It is great to be here, and thank you for inviting me on this platform, which I have been hearing from here and there amongst the Toastmaster fraternity. So I think physically witnessing today is so great. So as I mentioned to you that I spent a major part of my life, about half of that, almost about 25 years in Karachi. And I moved back about 2-3 years back, built our own house here in Lahore. And we recently moved into our new house. And we brought all of the boxes and all of the furnitures and household items. And we almost fixed everything, but one of the boxes remained unopened. And that was in my study. And one afternoon, which was very recent, I entered into my room, and what I saw was this. I mean, it was all over the place. The contents of the box were lying all over my study table and some on the floor. And I was wondering what had gone wrong. And I tried to figure out what it was all about. And my investigation led me to find a culprit. 1.5-year-old Miss Inaya, and she happens to be my granddaughter. So she was actually finding all of this, what was inside my box. She found it very curious. So her actions led to the point that her curiosity was there, and that is what she did. Now, I started picking up all of the pieces one by one and just put them back into the box. But what I could not stop wondering what had gone wrong. And to me, it looked that, well, there was one of the major engineering laws were in action, and that was the second law of thermodynamics, that entropy always increases. So that is what actually had gone in. And this is simply put, often a very difficult concept to understand for engineers even. But in simple terms, it's a disorder of the system. And entropy increases according to the second law of thermodynamics. So like Inaya's curiosity, my own curiosity, when I go back to my own childhood, my elder brother, who was 2 years older than me, he would bring in mechano sets, and he would make cars, and he must have remembered that mechano set number 0 going from 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 scaling up. And he would build small models with that. He would make a car and then dismantle it, make an aeroplane, dismantle it. And I was helping him, and that curiosity actually developed my own interest in engineering. And that's which actually led me to follow my engineering path. And I ended as to obtain first degree in mechanical engineering. Now, about the disorder of the system, I think we can very easily relate to our universe, that very easily our universe can go into entropy. And if we don't do much about it, it can easily get into chaos. So Now, let's go and look at the real life situations. As I mentioned about second law of thermodynamics and entropy, that you can easily relate that to real life situations, to organizations, and to offices. You can have rooms get messy, your work projects slide into confusion, your relationships stagnate, even societies fall into disorder. So entropy is not just about physics, it's about the natural tendency of every system, from your home to your company to your nation, and tendency to fall apart. And someone has to have investment done in order to hold it together. Now, if I make a comparison between an engine and a brain, in an engine, if you don't supply fuel, your output drops. In humans, if we don't recharge mentally, emotionally, spiritually, entropy wins. That is why for humans, rest, reflection, and renewal are not luxuries, they are necessities. Just as an engine needs maintenance, human beings need curiosity, learning, and connections to keep running at full capacity. Elon Musk recommends 1 hour of reflection first thing in the morning, no phone calls, no WhatsApp messages, no interruptions. Now, let's look at curiosity as a renewable energy. Unlike fossil fuels, curiosity does not deplete. It grows as you use it. Every question opens another door. Every discovery sparks the next. Quantum mechanics, space explorations, artificial intelligence, each began with someone asking, what if? In fact, curiosity might be the only infinite source we have. The more we use it, the more powerful it becomes. Now, if we link that curiosity to science fiction and the human imagination, look at the Star Trek. Star Trek emerged and it transformed communication. Today's smartphones. Jules Verne imagined submarines and moon landings decades before they were possible. Elon Musk once said he was inspired by reading Asimov and Clarke. So when we dare to imagine, we defy entropy. Friction becomes blueprint. Curiosity becomes innovation. Today, when we look entropy in the climate crisis, so we see that entropy is not just abstract. It is happening around us. And climate change is entropy at a planetary scale. Here comes the hopeful part. So we either surrender to entropy or fight with curiosity. So this is what we need to actually be doing in order to fight back the entropy and the disorder of the system. So build water resources. It's a big target. We are not sure. We have been lacking in that. We have to plant more trees. So billion tsunami trees had been mocked and joked, So, but the fact remains that that has a great contribution. We are going to see electric vehicles in a big way. So I think this is a transformation journey that we need to be part of. I belong to power industry, and I know that for the next 20 years, there is no energy adding into the system, but renewable energy. So it's only hydro, solar, or wind. So I think battery storage is also another area which is going to transform. Another area which fascinates me a lot, and as a user of artificial intelligence, I think we can get a lot more things done much more quickly and much more efficiently if we are able to use artificial intelligence. Lastly, capacity building. Capacity building is something which every organization, every facet, and Toastmasters has a great contribution there. The number of skills that Toastmaster offers is amazing. So Toastmaster can make a great deal of impact to fight the entropy of the system. Before we go for question and answers, fellow geeks and dreamers, let us resolve to keep asking questions, keep imagining, keep building, because that is how we make this world not just orderly, but truly better. Over to you, Toastmaster Chishti.
I will open the house for the questions. Please, Dr. TM Fayaz Jaswal. Please go ahead, unmute your mic.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Toastmaster Khurram Chishti, for giving me an opportunity to ask question, and assalamu alaikum to DTM Muhammad Duneeb. I wanted to ask question that regarding entropy, that basically I've developed an understanding that entropy is a process of going from order to disorder, but that I think that's my understanding of entropy. But going from disorder to order, is that process is also part of entropy? That's my question.
I mean, in actual life, the objective is yes. In a metaphorical terms, yes, it's a disorder of the system, and we need to actually apply some kind of resistance towards not letting that go up. In actual second law of thermodynamics actually states that within the confines of the boundary, but then we know that you have within the confines of the boundaries, you have order moving into disorder. If you have a hot cup of tea and you place it, it will get cold. But then it does not get cold, it will have its impact to the environment and the place where you are sitting. So in actual reality, yes, this going from order to disorder, but then disorder to order is our objective. That's what it is. So I think from scientific terms, yes, that's what it is. It actually remains the same or increases. So our objective is not to let it go from in the disorderly state. And if at all it goes into disorderly state, put plans in place so that we have a minimum change of state in a negative manner.
Thank you, Dr. Muneeb. TTM Talha bin Hamid.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Raneem, for that keynote. And the question that was in my mind after listening to the Geek of the Week and to your keynote was, entropy is the natural order of things, right? It is a time arrow. So everything moves from order to disorder. And sometimes when we wish to create order, we end up expending energy that causes greater disorder at a larger scale. Or although it may create order in an isolated instance or isolated space and time. So my question is there any way at all that we can create or try to create order in the universe without actually causing disorder at the largest
scale? I would say by taking proactive steps. I think before actually it gets messy. I mean, for example, this recent flood situation, why we let this entropy rise in so massive entropy take place. We could actually have done that by taking proactive steps. I think the fact is that we let that massive disaster, we knew that it would come. So by taking proactive steps, yes, we can actually manage that, and that is what the objective is.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Neeb. Toastmaster Mubina Rauf, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Toastmaster Khurram. I have a question for Dr. Neeb. As you said, you have been working in WAPDA for so many years. I'm curious to know, with this, the energy crisis which we have, the electricity bills that people get, why is the government discouraging people to go solar? Like they are taking all steps to discourage people. I'm asking you because you have been in the system, in the government for so long, so you must be knowing what happens, how it works.
Yeah, so the problem is that the massive overcapacity that the planners have put in place. They planned for something, they planned for economic growth, but that did not realize. So here is a situation that we've got like excess capacity of over 25,000 megawatts sitting there, and its capacity payments have to be paid back. So if you allow more and more solar to come in, then the capacity, I'm telling the government's perspective. I'm sure I myself am a user of solar, and I'm really have a different role there. And I would love to have the cheapest, as all of us would love to have cheapest and reliable power at our doorsteps. So, but the problem there is because of government's inability to actually get back what it committed. So it committed far more than there is this demand for the power. So that's why they are not letting more and more solar to come in. But I think things are going to change. Just like mobile phones, you may have remembered that you had a mobile phone cost was sky high. So we used to have like trunk calls from even one city to another. So it was so expensive. And now with rates are, so I think it's going to take time. Like, for example, changes in the batteries, technologies that you are seeing. I think in the next maybe 10 years, the changes will be so much that people will say, well, we are independent. We don't need wires. So I think we will have, in the morning, we will have sun, and in the evening, we will have our batteries. And if we have rain, we will have our batteries. So I think from government side, I hope I have answered the question.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Neem.
Thank you, Dr. Uneeb. Is there any other question? I will take a last question. If not, we are already over the time, 3 minutes. If not, I will conclude this segment. I would say thank you, Dr. Uneeb, and few notes I have taken from your keynote. The universe will go in chaos if we do not do anything. Fellow Toastmaster, this is the world of actions. And if I summarize the whole thing, what I have taken out of that one, it was once said by our national poet, Allama Iqbal, अमल से जिंदगी बनती है जन्नत भी जहन्नुम भी. The life itself is with action into a paradise or a hell. We'll move to our education segment, which is the prepared speeches. And for our one and only prepared speech, I will call upon our evaluator to introduce the speaker and the details of the speech. Over to you, the lead evaluator, Toastmaster Mubina Rao. Please introduce your team and the speaker.
Well, I don't have the details of the project DTM Talha is doing, but my team includes DTM IRM for auditory evaluation, and for visual it's DTM Imran, and for perspective it's Toastmaster Tehseen, and for structural it's you.
Since
Nico.
DTM IRM is not
No,
there,
no, no. Think of the devil and president is here.
welcome,
Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. I just heard that.
welcome to the club, the devil.
Thank you.
And we'll move back to lead evaluator, Toastmaster Mubina Rao.
Yeah, okay. Our
Toastmaster
speaker
Mubina,
today is
Okay, I will share the details of the project. It's with me in the agenda. So DTM Talha bin Hamid is attempting the speech from the level 1 presentation mastery. The time allowed for that speech is 5 to 7 minutes. It is his second speech. The title of the speech has been changed, I believe, in the last minute. And let me go back and see that one. Okay, so it's
So
Toastmaster. Yeah, please carry on.
Tehseen Fatma has raised her hand.
Yes, Toastmaster Tehseen.
I have a minor request. Can you please allocate perceptions to
Toastmaster Tehseen, you are not audible. If you can move your mic in a better position.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Quite in a breaking way, but yeah, please tell us.
Okay. I just want to make a minor request. Can you please allocate Perceptible's role to someone else? I'm on a call at the moment.
No worries.
Thank you.
Is Perceptible can be given to Toastmaster Noreen Fatma?
Yes. Could you please elaborate the role of the preceptor as well so that she can
So as our module evaluation, Toastmaster Noreen Fatma, can you hear us? Can you unmute and accept the role before I give a debrief?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Is
So
the detail right? Okay, please carry on. Thank you.
So in the module evaluator, you will be one of the evaluator which will give your evaluation around the perceptibles of the speech, around the title and the message as had been conveyed. What is the perception has been taken out of the speech? Was the message was clearly delivered, or is there any room of improvement? You will have 1 minute for giving your evaluation.
Perfect. Thank you. I'm taking the role.
Thank you. So moving back, Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid, plunk, splash, grilled, Grulj, DTM Talha bin Hamid.
Sorry, Toastmaster of the day, I would like to clarify for the evaluator that this is the second project of the evaluation and feedback. And I would just briefly share the feedback that I got after the first project so that she can look out for those factors. Is that okay, Toastmaster of the day?
Please carry on.
Yeah. So first of all, I was caught reading from notes in the last project. So evaluators told me not to read from notes. And that's why my vocal variety and eye contact also suffered. So that was the main improvement area in the project. That's for you, Toastmaster Mubin.
Thank you.
Toastmaster DTM Talha bin Hamid, stage is yours.
Thank you. What were you thinking? Are you out of your mind? How can you write a letter like that? Are we beggars? Don't we buy you things? But we couldn't find it, could we? We searched everywhere. We've been searching for years, but we couldn't find it. You shut up. And if you do one more thing like this, I will kick you out of the house. That kind and gentle bit of parenting came from my mother. To a 12-year-old me who was desperate for something. What was it? Allow me to take you back to 1980. We had cassette tapes, and not every household had a tape deck. In fact, a cassette player in a car used to be a great luxury. We used to only hear music on the TV and the radio, the TV being PTV and the radio being Radio Pakistan. So you can imagine. But there was a third source of music, and that was our school bus. Throughout our journey to and from the school, the bus driver used to play pirated cassettes from the neighboring country. Binaka Geet Mala, the latest movie soundtracks, and all added with the ethereal sound of Jhankar. Ladies and gentlemen, the object of my affection was this album, Disco Diwane by Nazia and Zuhair. I heard this album for the first time in the late 80s at my cousin's house. We used to come in winter vacation from Quetta to Karachi. Back then, the only source of buying music was music shops. And the only options you had were the cassettes and CDs that they used to. Needless to say, a CD player was alien technology to all of us. So we used to have cassette players. This cassette or album came out in 1982, and it set the world on fire. Even today, you can find it on Amazon. It was released in India, Pakistan, Latin America, Europe, UK, you name it. It was a worldwide sensation. And I heard this album while sitting in a luxurious background through a spectacular sound system. For the first time, experiencing the cool breeze of an air conditioner in Karachi with my cousins. Needless to say, this was etched in my mind as the ultimate pinnacle of comfort. After that, I became obsessed with this album. Just one hearing, and since we were not constantly bombarded with information, we used to have better memories. So I remembered the feel, the songs, the choruses, Nazia's voice. Into the 90s, when bands like Vital Signs and Junoon and others came on the scene, and when senior artists like Alamgir and Sheikhi were still in their prime, I only had eyes and ears for Nazia and Fateh. I used to consider their music the best. I used to have debates in my school on this topic, and it did nothing for my image because in the early 90s, the world had moved on. Pakistani music had moved on. Worldwide music had moved on. I was stuck in that moment in late 80s in a luxurious drawing room, and I kept searching for this album. In that time, medical stores had corners dedicated to music. And every time we traveled to Karachi in winter vacations, I used to go through all medical stores, all music stores to search for this album. And they always told me no, they didn't have it because by that time, this album was 10 years old. Then one day, just after Eid, my pocket bursting with 40 rupees collected from Eid, I spied this album on a shelf in a medical store. I couldn't believe my eyes. Years and years and years of searching and just there, just like that. I begged my mother to buy this album because, like all innocent children, my Eid was also stored with my mother. She presented the resolution before my father, and my father said, "What's the need? It's just a useless album." Excuse me? It's as useful as your Lata and Kishore albums to me, okay? It took weeks. During that time, I made regular pilgrimages of that medical store to ensure that the cassette remained on the shelf. And I begged the shopkeeper that soon, one day, I will come and buy this album. Please don't sell it. Miraculously, one day, my parents agreed. We took the trip to the medical store, got the album. And you know what happens when you're too excited? Your body fills with excitement, and so does your bladder. And therefore, as we got home, I had to rush to the washroom. And as soon as I entered, the album dropped into the toilet with a sound of splash and gurgle. What happened after that, I will not go into the details. Let me just say this. Sometimes pursuing objects is as futile as trying to create negentropy in a world of entropy. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
What an interesting way of putting your passion into the toilet. I will hand over the charge back to lead evaluator. Toastmaster Mubina Rauf.
Thank you, Toastmaster Khurram. And DTM Talha, what a swing down the memory lane. That was one of my favorite cassettes too. And then afterwards, my children's too. You have the speech was enthralling. I will invite the auditory evaluators. At the end, I'll give my own evaluation. DTM Iram for auditory evaluation.
Thank you very much, lead evaluator. So today it's not a shock, but then as an evaluator, I need to evaluate what I have seen today, not the speaker in general, but as today's speech. So wow, amazing. I really liked the modulation. 3 things were absolutely clear. Vocal clarity was absolutely in place, where I could see that even though the speaker was far off from the system, but then effort was put that each and every word is clear, understandable, simple, yet poetic around. So it was music to my ears how clear it was. Number two, vocal modulation was there. The speaker brought in where it was required, where it had to go up, and then brought down where it was required to have more of interest. Third was vocal variety. Oh God, oh no, and all of those things along with the feel that the body has been moved. I could hear all that very clearly. So my speaker has done all the three parts today: vocal clarity, vocal modulation, and vocal variety. The only area of improvement would be for the vocal clarity, that if a gadget could be used and a mic piece is much closer, so that the impact of even a whisper could be felt, then that would have taken level up. So thank you very much, and over to you, lead evaluator.
Thank you so much, DTM Iram. We'll move to the visual evaluator, Toastmaster Imran.
Thank you so much. I'm sure I'm audible.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much, DTM Talha, for delivering such a wonderful speech. It was quite amazing. So the visual parts, you were standing, you were delivering the speech in a standing position. Your hand gestures were perfectly aligned, and we could easily see that your facial expressions was quite clear. The background you just placed as a virtual background, it was quite distracting, and sometimes it also didn't show your hand movements and sometimes the facial expression as well. One more thing, while you were talking, while you become your mom and she was talking to the 8 years old Talha, so it was quite long. So there was a disconnection from the audience. Maybe it could be you could have done in a direction so that your eye contact or the facial expressions could easily be visible on the screen. Overall, a wonderful speech, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran. Now we'll move on for the perspective evaluation. Toastmaster Noreen.
Noreen Fatma.
Noreen Fatma.
Thank you so much. I hope I am audible and visible. Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mubina. What a great speech delivered by my favorite DTM Talha. As the title is Plunk, Splash and Good. And yes, we could easily understand and we could definitely see in the speech. We can start from your I could say the content that was really connecting. I love the phrases which I would really want to share is like kind and gentle parenting, connected with your 8-year-old Talha story, and the enthusiasm, the history of music and the cassette player. And we were not aware about that cassettes and music aids, accessories were available at the medical stores. You were not aware at that time. So you mentioned that. And yes, we could definitely say that the title was inclined with the speech, and the message was clearly conveyed through personal story examples that you shared in the story, and the enthusiasm, the vocal variety, and of course the key jargon that you shared: spectacular, ultimate pinnacle, obsessed with the album, and that were really connecting, and the most relevant jargons that could be used to share the story that you wanted to share with the speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Khurram. I hope I haven't taken much time because my phone is about to dead. So I was more in a hurry while
Don't
during my.
worry.
Thank you, Toastmaster Noreen. Now we'll move on to Toastmaster Khurram for the structural approach of the speech.
Thank you, lead evaluator. This is where the perfection meets the scale and the speaker put challenge to the evaluator. What a structured speech, a very nice soft start with a good structure. And we need to evaluate today's speech only because it's a feedback and a speech part. And I have seen the previous one. I would say that the last evaluation was around that you are abruptly ending up your speech. So rather than changing that part, you change your speech style that suits abrupt ending. And it was a perfect speech. Very nice ending. It can never be better. I would just add one thing, that if you have add your mother or father as a character speaking something and create more fun into that, that will be a cherry on the top of the cake. Thank you very much. Over to you, lead evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Khurram. All the four evaluators have summarized quite well. DTM Talha, your storytelling had that, we say natural flow, I'll say musical flow from the very beginning. That excited beginning, and then to the strong act, and which told us very effectively how desperate you were for that album of Zohaib and Nazia. And then the most interesting part was the climax, or I would say that abrupt anti-climax that was a befitting thing, how things change in a moment. That is what you told us, and I would say that it goes back to the keynote and the geeky session that we had today, that how things change so abruptly and how we face them. I don't know what happened afterwards, but your message was very clear. It has reached the audience very clear that desperation to get something sometimes leads to something very different, disappointing, but you learn your lessons. So your speech was from the auditory, visual level, it was fantastic. And I would just add one thing. It would have been great if you had hummed that song of Disco Divane, which you loved. That would have been, as Toastmaster Khurram said, the cherry on the top. Back to you, Toastmaster Khurram.
We'll take the feedback of the speaker.
Yes. DTM Talha, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was really, really amazing feedback. And of course, I will use it to improve the speech because I plan to work on it further. And I also took special note of some structural aspects that were conveyed to me because I ended up exceeding the time, and perhaps I need to address those. I'm so glad that you loved the ending because it was, yes, abrupt by design. It was meant to shock. So thank you so much. And finally, I will finish by disclosing what happened later, because I wish I was making this up, but no, every word is true. I recovered it, washed it, and put it out to dry for 2 hours in the sun. And it was as good as new because cassettes were resilient that way.
Yes, yes, they were.
Unlike today's gadgets. So that was another lesson that I learned, that you can wash off everything and hang it out to dry and it will work again. At least that was true back then. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, the lead evaluator and the speaker of the day, I would say, because we have just one speaker. Fellow Toastmasters, look at our life. Look at the biological aspects of our life, our metabolism system, our DNA, our human hematosis. Aren't it direct us toward an order? What happens if a single strand of DNA is moved from one point to another? Think of one single parameter of our bloodstream go up or down. Think of our ecosystem, which is very successionally taking the dynamic trends of increasing the biomass and then structural network to flow the energy using the sunlight. Think of the big data we are using them to do the machine learning. Are this everything aren't moving toward an order? When Sir Kelvin gave a second law of thermodynamics in early 19th century, at the same time, in 1944, Sir Erwin Schrödinger gave a theory, say, what is life? And if I read his word, it says, life is an organism feeding on negentropy. We'll talk about that one in a moment. Furthermore, now we are moving to the most exciting session of the day, which is the table topics. And today, our table topic master is none other than our own beloved Sarjit Anam. She is the VPPR of Karachi Toastmaster Club, and she is an enthusiastic marketeer. She is the chief PR in PQD department in District 122. I'll hand over the charge to Toastmaster Tahseen Fatima.
It was so kind of you for a beautiful introduction. And my fellow Toastmasters and guests, I hope that everyone is geared up for this exciting part of the meeting, because that's the most exciting part we all have been anxiously waiting for. So, shall I choose myself, or would I actually appreciate if volunteers come ahead for the table topic. So who is our first volunteer for the table topic section? Any volunteers? Or shall I choose? Okay, so let's start with Faiz Jaswal. Faiz Jaswal, are you available for a quick speech?
Yes, I'm available.
Okay, wonderful. So I will give an interesting topic to Faiz Jaswal, and his speech will be evaluated by Salman Ibrahim. Are you with us? Toastmaster Salman Ibrahim, are you with us? Okay. Toastmaster Ares Khan, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
For a couple of minutes on a surprise topic, and you will evaluate his speech, and then I will give an interesting.
Right.
Okay, perfect. So let's start our first speech. Okay, so the topic is, they say a messy desk of a creative mind. They say a messy desk is a sign of a creative mind. Do you understand entropy at work? A messy desk is a creative mind's depiction, is it?
Thank you, Toastmaster Tahseen. I would totally agree that a messy desk is a depiction of a creative mind. Because in a sense, in a creative mind, you think out of the box, you challenge ideas, you challenge synchronization. And it's so important to create something out of the blue and challenge the current structures, and creating something out of the blue and creating something new. You have to have a messy mind, a messy desk, and messy thoughts, in which you are challenging the structure of the current archetypes through which we see life. and it is a great topic. And it's a what you say that it's depiction of a procrastinator as well. But in a sense, while you procrastinate, you think a lot, and you think a lot and a lot and a lot, and which can refine your arguments, refine your thoughts. But yeah, it also prevents you from acting on the task at hand. But it is a sign of creativity as well, because you are on the verge of refining your actions and your thoughts, and which can help you to act and replicate your stuff in a better way, replicate your thoughts into actions. So it is very important to have a messy mind in order to create something new and have that creative capacity. So I totally agree with the notion that a messy desk is a depiction of a creative mind. Thank you.
Wonderful. And I wish I could request you to please pass this notion to my mother, who never agree with this idea that the messy room and messy desk is actually a creative person's place. We can't help it. So over to Toastmaster R.A. Khan. Please do the evaluation and then we'll have a surprise topic for you.
Okay, so Toastmaster Fairs just won. You have been assigned with a topic title, Messy Desk is a Creative Mind Depiction. Very well start. You reread the topic and it's a nice way to start and very well articulated, and the ending was perfect. There is a suggestion that to keep the camera on while speaking so that we can look how your body language is and how you are using the hand gestures for that. So that is it from my side. Everything is perfect. Over to you, Toastmaster Tessipa.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Evaluator. So are you ready for your speech?
Yeah.
Okay, looks like you are geared up. So I would like you to speak on the creative side of a course. Anything happened in your life or you have observed that was a course, but actually turned out to be a creative ending.
All right. So who's gonna be my evaluator?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I forgot that. Toastmaster Noreen Fatma, would you like to be the evaluator?
Sure.
Okay, great. So Noreen Fatma will evaluate your speech and then she will be the next speaker. Thank you. Over to you, RS.
Right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tessin Fatma. So, fellow Toastmasters, let me take you back in my university days when I have been assigned with my first project of my thermodynamics subject. So I remembered to date that we have to make a boiling furnace, and because we were the freshers, we don't have an idea how to make a prototype of a boiling furnace. So what we do was we just took a can and put it over the holding sticks, and we just put a candle behind that can and show to our presenter that, look, there's a steam coming out of the can and that is turning the fan in that way. Most like ironically, like when the presenter go after evaluation, I just found that our project just got fired because of the candle, because that paper took the fire from the candle and just burned everything out. But when the part of our results come, we just got a second position in that exhibition, and me along with my friends were laughing what was happened and how we just present our project on a very short notice. So I think that was a sort of a depiction of the creative mind, and that came out as a very we were not sure to get runner-up position in that our project, but yes, we got that. So that is it. Over to you, Toastmaster Tasin Fatma.
An interesting thing. So it means that you are a creative mind. So Toastmaster Noreen, what do you think about his speech?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tasin Fatma, for giving me an opportunity to share the evaluation about Toastmaster RAs. Yes, first of all, I would like to applaud him because he connected it with his personal story. And it was really connecting. He showed that how he won this project and from his college and university times. But I want to add that as part of our tables topic speeches, what we have learned from the Toastmaster manual, first of all, you have to repeat the topic. In that manner, there are some of your audiences, sometimes they are not able to understand when the table topic master is sharing the topic, some of the people are unable to understand. First of all, you have to repeat the topic and acknowledge whether you are to just explain initially that what it is all about, how and about the depiction of the creative mind. And then we could move towards the personal story. And it comes in the body segment or of the table topic speech, although you started in the beginning, but then you should share some stats, some other daily life examples of other people so that how we could understand about the depiction of the creative mind and conclusion. And at the conclusion, we have to repeat and make it meaningful so that it could become a constructive speech and can understand the topic to the audience in a more better way. Over to you, Toastmaster Tasin.
Wonderful evaluation, Toastmaster Noreen. That's amazing. So due to some time constraints, I have the last speech of the day, which is by Toastmaster Noreen. And I would request Toastmaster Faiz Jaswal, who was our first speaker, to evaluate her speech. Faiz, are you available? Faiz Jaswal, would you be available for the evaluation?
Actually, I'm available, but I haven't evaluated with an open mind. I wasn't really paying attention. I was having my lunch at the moment.
No,
So I haven't really evaluated.
Actually, she will start the speech now. She haven't delivered a speech.
Okay. Now
Yeah.
I'll keep my mind open.
Yes, please. Okay. Thank you, Faiz. And Toastmaster Noreen, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So the topic is entropy says accepting that change and uncertainty are natural. Accepting that change and uncertainty are natural. Do you agree? If yes, why? And if no, why? Change and uncertainty are natural. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tasin, for giving me such an interesting topic. Yes, I agree. Change and entropy. Change. Could you please repeat?
Change and uncertainty are natural.
Okay. Yes, I totally agree that change and uncertainty are natural. Yes, we could see the current example of climate crisis that we all are facing. We could see that climate change has been the biggest externality of 21st century. As we can see that one of the challenge that we face while designing policy intervention is that it takes a lot of time. One of that is we need to have at least 1 to 2 decades that could actually lead to say that it is, yes, a climate and climate change, that the change happens just because of climate. And the other factor challenge that is that uncertainty of that challenge. And it becomes difficult for the policy makers to provide solutions because sometimes the situation is becoming worse. As we can see that we have never seen that urban flooding used to be normal in the previous days. Normally in the far-flung areas, the disaster-prone areas, especially in the north, were the most victims. But we could see this year that in the capital Islamabad, we have never seen this cloudburst, that we were not actually aware earlier that yes, that could happen in future. So I totally agree with you. And we have to deal with this uncertainty by providing solutions, by having our projections so that we could deal this uncertainty at least at our level and can save the planet for our future generations. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Very well spoken, Toastmaster Noreen, and I totally agree with you. As much the climate is changing, the uncertainty level is arising, and we are definitely not ready for it. So thank you for a great speech, and your evaluator will tell you what great and what areas of improvement you need. So Toastmaster Faiz, over to you.
Thank you. The way she started her speech, Toastmaster Noreen, about the topic on which, on a subconscious level, we are totally agreeing that the effects of the climate change was very important to have a ground basic understanding on the topic on which we all are aware. And apart from that, she had a great body language with using her hand gestures and the voice tonality, and having that variance in the voice tonality with respect to the point she's making. That was very important as well, and she did that. So overall, it was a great speech. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Faiz Jaswal, and thank you all the participants of this amazing session. You all are great public speakers. Please keep up the pace. Great, and kudos to you all. So over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. What an interesting learning session we had. With this, we conclude our education segment of the meeting. And now we'll move toward a segment which is very important. Since we are in an unseen battle of chaos and harmony all across us, in that very time, we always need to check and adjust. We need to see our quality. And for that very purpose, I will call upon today our journal evaluator, none other than DTM Iram Rizvi.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Khurram Chisti. A virtual or with your video round of applause for him for sailing the ship so smoothly. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Khurram. So as a general evaluator, a disclaimer that whatever you're going to hear here as evaluation is going to be something which comes from my own perspective of being a Toastmaster. And it's my point of view. You're most welcome to pick up what you like. You're most welcome to drop what you do not like, but do not take anything to your heart. But this is my club, so I can say anything. And my things as president, you have to take serious. Okay? This is for the people who are non-QL members. So I'm going to start off with the general evaluation directly, because in Quantum Leap, we do not have a list of role players. We just have language evaluator. And did we have one today? DTM Talha?
We had Toastmaster Imran, but he had to step away. So I think
no worries. So would you be, as DTM Talha wears many hats, would you be able to give a short language evaluation if you have any, specifically around the speaker who was there today?
Well, okay, I can give an overview. First of all, the particular highlight was Toastmaster Salman Ibrahim's Geek of the Week session. It was exceptionally well delivered in terms of language. It was almost like poetry, although he was talking about physics. So I need to, and I didn't detect any grammatical errors in that. After that, the keynote, of course, Dr. Neeb, what I noted about your keynote was that you were very calm and composed, and you had a very soothing and good frequency of words. And that is what helps one to stay on track and also to speak good language. So I noticed a lot of things, but I didn't note them down. But your language was very good as well. My speech has been evaluated to death, so I won't go there. But the overall modular evaluators, since it is an extempore speech, so the modular evaluators and the table topic speakers did have some stumbles, but those stumbles were not grammatical errors. They were rather repetitions and more in line with filler words and trying to gather their thoughts. So that's my report. And the word of the day, coherence, was used, I believe, by Toastmaster Salman and DTM Muneeb as well. And one of the modular evaluators, I believe it was Toastmaster Muneeb.
Thank you very much, DTM Talha, for sharing that improvised. And that's how Toastmasters roll, especially when they're nerds. So starting off with my general evaluation, I got support from my members here because of some work commitment, but then I'm going to try to do justification as much as possible. We started slightly 5 minutes late, but it's absolutely fine because at times we need to sort out the members who have said they're coming. If they're not coming, wait for people. But then what matters is that later on in the first, second segment or the first, second role, where do we stand with time? And by the time we reach on the half of the meeting, are we ahead? Are we behind? Are we on time? And then decide accordingly that how much content do we have to take care of, how many table topic speakers we bring. So starting off 5 minutes, 10 minutes late is fine as long as the meeting is handled in the middle and we are taking care of time for everyone. What is not acceptable is that meeting going way beyond its time, but we are standing at a very good space right now. Geek of the Week was done very well by Toastmaster Salman Ibrahim. It was about space-time, gravity, entropy, and how they link to our lives. And he converted all that. So everything which was around that topic was done very well. The only thing, advice for Toastmaster Salman that I have received is to take note of the time again. But then the topic was done very well. Kudos to you for that. Sergeant at Arms has done a wonderful job as usual. Toastmaster Tehseen comes with a very high energy in whatever role she does. So even though she was Sergeant at Arms, she starts off with that energy and makes sure that that whole ripple of it is falling across the meeting. She was also the table topics master. Well done. I like the way how it was very pleasant, pretty welcoming, very warm, that, you know, the people who really fare up with table topics master, the best thing is that she makes it very soft. I personally do not recommend when table topics masters come on stage and they try to create that drama effect, scary, monsterly kind, that, you know, guess what, I'm going to be this today, and the best part is that I'm not going to do the speech. We should actually make our audience pretty calm, relaxed, so that they can perform well, rather than repeating the statements which is already going on in their mind, that it is something very daunting. So Toastmasters Tehseen, kudos to you for making it pretty warm and behaving like a wonderful host. My only piece of advice for Toastmaster Tehseen is to anyways have in her mind that who is going to be the first and second speaker. And these two are going to be the ones who are going to set the pace. So the first two speakers, they try to show that, you know, this is how speaking is done, this is how evaluation is done, and this is how you start off with your speech when you get. Just a piece of advice, and that's more of nitpicking. She got amazing speakers today, and kudos to all the speakers too. My evaluator, Toastmaster Mubina, has done very well, and also the set of evaluators out there. The one of the best things about this panel is that we didn't really repeat whatever was said by the lead evaluator. So the unique points came out, and this is what is mature in Quantum Leap, that we don't try to wait up that, you know, okay, let me repeat. So we go for the content which is unique, which is different, so that it's adding value to the speaker. So very well done out there by all the module evaluators, and Toastmaster Mubina has covered all the points. Nothing extra was left over for me to add up as general evaluator for the speaker. Apart from that, I had one more point, I guess. No. So it looks like I have completed, and it looks wonderful. The keynote was done very well. Dr. Unib have really left a mark on the audience over here, and a greatly handled Q&A session. Would love to see you more. We would love to have you as, if possible, as general evaluator for our next meeting, to have your point of view with your experience, that what do you think of this meeting and how could we improve, and all feedback is welcome. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much for standing there as a team member, being there, covering for each other. If anything is happening, we really let it go seamless. And that's what maturity of an advanced club is, that we don't panic. We take over whatever is required. And if it is not happening, we understand that's how life is. And how could I forget Toastmaster of the Day? So Toastmaster Khurram Chisti has done amazing. I was hearing you a while. I got a feedback from member too. As usual, any role that this particular Toastmaster does, he does it as a champion. He does it as if it's performance, brilliant eye contact, taking care of his attire, taking care of his gadgets, background, hand gestures, you know, even having those drama of a host that, you know, oh, the next speaker is, and the next person is, and the next segment. I like the way how the energy really flows up, and you really put up the threshold pretty high for people, that, you know, whatever the role is, it has to be taken very seriously, and you do it like performance of your life. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Khurram, for doing that. Really impressed as usual. Please do keep coming. We know that time is challenging for you out there. You're really contributing well to the club. We're very happy to have you in any form. but no, time is not an issue. Okay, so you do come. Okay, so you do come. You have to be there in every meeting. Thank you.
The previous time was an issue, but not this
time was it. So we changed it for him. So all right. So now I'm going to hand over the charge to Toastmaster Khurram back for the closing of his role as Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster Khurram.
Thank you, General Evaluator. A great insights of the meeting and the direction for the future better quality meeting. Fellow Toastmasters, if entropy is a chaos and disruption, and if the order is harmony, then what we learned today? We learned that the only thing which is indestructible is energy. And energy is all about in which direction you put it in, although energy is a scalar quantity. But it's you who make it vector. Think what order you can bring in others' life. Can you take out a stone from the middle of the road, or arrange a meal for a person, or buy the books for a student, for a kid, which may put his future in order, or clean a house of an old person who cannot do it himself? A small order created by every single person will create a big harmony against the global chaos we are facing today. That's what we learned today in our Geek of the Week, in our keynote speech. And hence I can see that our discussion today have such a mark that some of our guests have changed their background into a chaotic world cosmos. And that's what the day is all about. I'm very happy that we have run such a professional session today. Thank you very much, everyone who have participated. I hand over the charge back to the president of the club, DTM Iram Rizvi.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, and hello, everybody. Please take a few seconds and vote up for the major role players for today. All right, I'm done with the vote. So I would like to take some feedback by the time the votes are getting counted by DTM Talha. So Toastmaster Noreen, how do you feel about the meeting?
Wow, I didn't know that you guys are having such great meetings, and especially the theme of the club is really inspiring and really connected to me because of my professional experience, and I'm working, in the science sector. So I really enjoyed it. And the best part of the meeting is that it's like more of a time bound, and you can spend your weekend in a more productive way. And every I would say role player put effort and found to be more professional. Although I joined Toastmasters after ages, you know that I am not part of Toastmaster fraternity for quite long because of my professional commitments. But today I really enjoyed today's meeting and found it more productive. Especially we can talk about the geek of the week. He enlightened us with the topic very well, and our keynote speech was really inspiring. Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Forum, he's a champion, and I love the way he connected with the theme. In many of the meetings, that Toastmaster of the meeting is unable actually to connect to the theme of the meeting. He is more busy in introducing roles, but what we have noticed in today's meeting that Toastmaster Forum made justice with the theme of the meeting as well. Although he was busy in announcing and busy with the role players, but we really enjoyed the theme of the meeting. All the evaluators did their job well. It was new for me that now the evaluator have team of evaluators. That actually made it more depth, as DTM Talha mentioned, that now we have more. My speech was evaluated in a depth. Yes, with that, I think we are able to learn more. Overall, it was great meeting, and I'm hoping to be more regular in this club meeting.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Noreen. And evaluation is the crux of this nerdy club, because we always believe that the actual, real, and more feedback is the way to improve ourselves, because it's an advanced club. In fact, one thing different that Toastmaster Taxine did today was to make, as I said, she was making everyone comfortable, is that she informed who the evaluator is. Whereas when we do table topics, we do not inform who the evaluator is. So everyone is very conscious that they might be called as an evaluator, and then they are the next speaker. So she did a game slide slow today that, she felt that, oh, come on, let me make it easy. So the next time you come, you're going to notice that even that evaluation is taken pretty seriously, and everyone puts an extra 1 minute of effort, so that learning is constant. Can I hear a feedback from DTM Uni, please, our keynote speaker for today? Good to see you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. I think wonderful to actually connect back after such a long time. I think, and with a slightly different twist and advanced club. I think we had one advanced club some time back, but I think to actually give this give this flavor to this geek mentality, I think that's really it just is very much intellectually motivating. I think, and then you have the content built up. I think people are contributing really to an extent which is creating value for the members. That's what my opinion is. I think what I like more is that you are following times very strictly. So I think it's, I was just thinking that it's 2 to 4 and will it actually slide? But I think you are now concluding. So I think I really enjoyed it. So I think every part of it, starting from the Toastmasters to the table topics and to the evaluations. So I think it really is looking like an advanced club. So excellent job. Keep it up.
Thank you very much, DTM Munib, and thank you for gracing with your presence. We do have something from DTM Talha. Your hand is raised.
Yes, first of all, do I have your permission to announce the results?
I just need one feedback from guest Faiz.
All right,
and then we can do. Guest Faiz, would you like to share any feedback about the meeting?
Thank you very much. It's been a great meeting with respect to the environment. The environment has been very great, light and cheerful. And the way you guys lift each other up and help each other improve their public speaking skills, it's quite phenomenal. And apart from that, the keynote speech of DTM Mohammad Uneeb was very great regarding entropy and curiosity. And I've never joined a Toastmaster as a professional full-fledged member, but I've always joined these meetings as a guest member. But even as a guest member, these meetings have motivated me to become a better public speaker, and has that helped me and gave me that confidence to speak publicly in my university life. So these meetings are awesome, and I enjoyed this meeting the way I've enjoyed the previous Toastmaster meetings as well. So
thank you very much. Amazing. Thank you for your feedback, and looking forward to have you again with us after the alternate week. DTM Talha bin Hamid, over to you for the vote winners announcement.
Thank you so much. So just to answer Dr. Neeb, the advanced stuff that he's talking about, and him and me and several other KTC members struggled to keep it alive for long. Actually, it was later turned into Husn-e Khitabat Toastmasters Club. And if you recall, you were the first ever president of Husn-e Khitabat Toastmasters. So, but now things have come full circle, because Kolachi Toastmasters Club, which was actually a normal club, has now been turned into an advanced. So,
yeah.
So I will announce the winners for today. First of all, there is no best speaker because I exceeded my time. I finished at 7:40. Best evaluator is Toastmaster Mubina Rauf. She stayed in the time. Best table topics today goes to Toastmaster Faiz Jaswal. And best major role play goes to Toastmaster Khurram. And of course, special certificate of appreciation will be given to our keynote speaker, DTM Puneet. Over to you, Madam President.
Congratulations and kudos, everyone. And thank you very much, Dr. Raneeb, for being part and gracing our meeting. Thank you, Toastmaster Noreen. Thank you, guest Faiz. Thank you, Toastmaster Salman, for being Geek of the Day. Greek of the Day, that's a nice also. And Toastmaster Khurram, kudos to you for your role. And DTM Talha for wearing multiple hats, always being there as a backbone, supporting, coordinating. Thank you so much. And I'm giving you back your Sunday. If there's no other comment, then we adjourn the meeting.
One comment, it's Saturday.
She's living in the future. Future perspective.
And we our Karachi Toastmasters Club's Silver Jubilee meeting, of which DTM Iram, DTM Neve, and Toastmaster Noreen have been members, will be starting at 5:45. So we'll be floating the Zoom link everywhere. So please join if you can. It would be a great privilege. And DTM Neve, as a past president, please try to join.
I will try to, even if for a brief time. So I think, yeah.
Sure.
So I think great memories. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care, everyone. It was great meeting you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Likewise.